So on Friday, we set up for the show, and I helped my trainer load and transport all the horses and supplies to the showgrounds. So it was a long day. It was also downpouring for like the whole day, so I didn't really vlog very much on Friday. But we did get all the horses settled in, so here's Buddy enjoying his dinner before I left for the evening. And Saturday was show day, so I got to the showgrounds bright and early so that I could take care of Buddy. We went for a little walk around and then I let him graze for a little bit. I also gave him a bath, but I didn't film it. And of course, I gave him lots of snacks throughout the morning. Also, shout out to my trainer for braiding his mane and tail. He looked so pretty. And then before I knew it, it was time to start getting ready, so I got on all of my gear and I tacked up Buddy. So our first class was English Pleasure. This was a walk-trot class. All the classes that I entered were walk-trot just because it's my first show and I haven't been riding Buddy for that long. Surprisingly, I really was not nervous at all during this show. I think because it was just such a small, laid-back show, it was really a great first show for me to go to. The show was actually so small that they ended up combining a lot of the classes, so for this class, I had my age group as well as the adults. We were still being judged separately, but we were all riding together. But overall, I was happy with this ride. It definitely wasn't perfect, definitely some improvement we can make, but I ended up coming in third, although I think this was technically last place because I think there were only 3 people in my age group. But our next class was English Equitation. And again, there's definitely some improvements we could make, but you know what? I didn't fall off, he didn't even spook, so I call that a win. Buddy has a lot of showing experience and he's been to this showgrounds multiple times, so he was a really good boy and did a good job of taking care of me. And again, we got third, which I think is technically last place, but then we had a lunch break until it was time to get ready for my Western classes. So here I am in the warm-up, and I was so excited to wear my new cowboy hat, but sadly it was literally flying off my head, so I had to change into a helmet. And the first class was Western Pleasure, and the judges were still scoring the previous class, so they gave us time to walk around and warm up, which is good because Buddy literally tried to leave the arena right here. And I remember really hating how we did in this class, although looking back it really doesn't look that bad. But I just think I didn't have as much confidence because this was only my second time riding with Rommel reins, so it was still getting used to those. And then we just don't neck rein very much, so I just wasn't as confident as I was in my English classes.
Reverse and walk, please. Reverse and walk. Jump, please. All jump.
And I actually ended up placing first in this class, but that was only because I was the only person in my age group. And I was complaining about this afterwards because I felt like I would rather get in last place than get like a participation award. But at the end of the day, what's most important when you show is just to feel proud of your own rides and to have fun. And my next class was Western Equitation. Also, if you're wondering what the differences between these classes are, don't ask me because I don't know. They were all classes on the rail, just walk, trot. So we'd walk, trot, reverse, walk, trot, stop, and then back 5 steps for all 4 of these classes. But I remember feeling a lot better about this ride. Our transition here was really late because he decided he had to poop. But besides that, I think our ride was better. I think I had more confidence as well. And of course we came in first again because I was the only person in my age group. And then it was time for our last class of the day, which was Ranch Pleasure. So they asked for an extended trot, which I didn't know they were going to do, so I just went into a posting trot and hoped that it looked good, which it really didn't, but that's okay.
Resume the normal trot, please. Resume the normal trot.
Our transitions were also not great for this class. I think looking back that this was probably our worst ride of the show.
Walk, please. All walk.
And then the announcer ended up getting confused and asking for the lope.
No, this is a walk trot class.
Don't move. Not move.
So I panicked a little bit, but thankfully she corrected herself and it was all okay.
Brain bar, sorry. All done. normal. Backside flex, please. Backside flex.
You can still show.
Thank you, exhibitors. You may be excused.
So for this class we came in 6th, and I think there were 7 people in the class. But that finished up our rides for Saturday, so I took care of Buddy and then went home. And that brings us to Sunday, which was the last day of the show. Sunday was a lot more laid back, so I just spent the morning taking care of Buddy. I did all the morning chores, gave him grain and hay and water, and cleaned his stall. And then we went for a little walk around the showgrounds, and I let him graze. Honestly, one of my favorite parts of showing was just getting to spend more time with him. And then we went for a warm-up ride in the morning. So Sunday was dressage day, so I had 2 tests that I was doing today. And our warm-up was really, really good. I had my instructor video me and comment on my riding, so please enjoy that.
Nice stretchy trot, Paige. Nice job. Good. You need a little more contact to get them a little stretchier. Good. Looks nice. Pick them up a little bit more on the inside. I'm really glad you remembered how to ride today. Not gonna lie, thought we were gonna lose you yesterday. Yesterday you did the very classic get to a horse show for the first time. Oh, get to the horse show for the first time. Forget how to ride. Oh, look how nice Buddy looks. Good job, Paige. Make sure you make your line straight. Like really straight. Good transition. God, Buddy, I really wish you'd close your mouth. It's so unattractive. Nom, 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 nom. Ooh, free walk. Stretchy, 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 stretchy.
So my first test wasn't until the afternoon, so I went home for a bit, but then when I came back, I literally only had 5 minutes until my test because it ended up being pushed farther up. So I didn't get my first test on video, but here's my second one. So I'm doing Western Dressage. I did intro level test 1 and 2, which are like the most basic tests. And this was actually the only part of the show I felt nervous for. Going alone in the arena and having to do a pattern kind of stressed me out a little bit. Especially because leading up to the show, dressage had been what we were struggling with the most, so I didn't really have high hopes for these patterns. And I am going to edit this down so that you're just not watching me ride for like 5 minutes straight, but if you are interested, I could post the full version with the judges' comments and scores. So comment to let me know if that's something you're interested in. But I felt okay about both of my dressage tests. I didn't think they were amazing, but I didn't think they were horrible. We received our scores at the end of the day, and I was actually really pleasantly surprised with how I did. I ended up getting first for the Intro Test 1 with a score of 64%, and I placed second with Intro Test 2 with a score of 66%. For dressage, I was competing against people from my barn, and each of us ended up getting first in different tests, so that was really awesome. But after we were done riding, we cleaned out all the stalls and packed up all the things and moved the horses back. As you can see, Buddy was very happy to be back home. The first thing he did when he got out in the field was roll. And I was also happy to be home, even though the show was so much fun, so it was a little bittersweet. And for dinner, I had the best tacos of my life after living off of donuts and Gatorade the whole weekend. But the show was such an amazing experience, so I'm so grateful I got to go, and I'm so thankful for everyone from the barn, especially my trainer who made it such a fun experience, and of course to Buddy for being a good boy and taking care of me. Also, shout out to my mom for recording all of my rides for me. If you guys have made it all the way to the end, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.